I do want to make sure when we're talking about composing shapes, you're practicing taking shapes and putting them together. So on your Seesaw activity, there's a link for you to practice using pattern blocks, okay, which are like these magnetic ones that Mrs. Cooper has. So you're going to practice using pattern blocks to make a new shape, okay? So I want to practice today using shapes to make a new shape. So, okay, am I missing any? I'm missing this guy and this guy. Okay, so what I want you to do for our first task, we are going to use 2 triangles. So I'm going to move these guys. I'm just going to slide them over. We're going to use 2 triangles to make a rhombus. Okay, we're going to use 2 triangles to make a rhombus. Okay, so I know this is kind of tricky, but if you're looking at the actual shape, and I put all these different shapes on your Seesaw activity, okay, and you get to pick. On your Seesaw activity, you get to make 3 new shapes, but you get to play around with them and make the new shape. I'm not telling you what to do to make the shape, okay? But you have to tell me the name of the new shape. All right, so if I'm using triangles to make a rhombus, okay, I could put 1 triangle straight up and down and 1 triangle kind of going that way. So if I was to draw it, or 1 triangle upside down, I guess I could say, I'm going to make 1 triangle right side up, and then I'm going to make another triangle upside down. So see, I have 1 triangle here and 2 triangles here. I'd like you to try to make that. When you're finished, put both your hands on your head. When you finish trying to make this on your piece of paper or, you know, notebook, whatever it might be. Piece of paper, dry erase board. I still got confetti all in my laptop. And glitter. See? Zofro, question.
Do we put it in the direction that kind of looks like a stretched out square?
So you're putting it, you're using 2 triangles to make this shape right here.
Can it be this way or this way?
Yeah, like you could make it this way too. It's the same shape. You could also make it this way. You could make it, yeah, you can make it, if you want to make it this way, you just go like this. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to see you use those 2 triangles to make that blue shape right there.
What do we do when we're done?
Put both your hands on your head. Whoa. And last piece of confetti out of my... So when you're finished, put both your hands on your head. Alrighty. Show me your work. That's not your head, George. That's your nose. Show me your work. In 3, 2, 1. Show me your work. Okay, okay, okay. Close. Okay. Yep, yep, yep. A trick too, because like I can't rotate my board, okay? But you can. You can rotate your board and your piece of paper. If it makes it easier, you could have taken your board, flipped it on its edge, drawn your 2 triangles, and then rotated it. Okay? It's still the same shape. Any way you move it, it's the same shape. Okay. Now, I would like you to practice, okay? We are going to use 3 triangles this time. and we are going to make a trapezoid. So you are going to use 3 triangles to make a trapezoid, okay? Same thing goes. You can make a trapezoid and divide the trapezoid. You could draw 1 triangle right side up, okay? I'm going to use different colors. You could draw another triangle upside down. My triangles aren't perfect. It's all good if yours aren't either.
What are we doing again?
You're using 3 triangles to make a trapezoid. So just like I'm doing here, you're using 3 triangles to make a trapezoid. Okay? We're just practicing composing shapes. And that's all we're going to do today. And then tomorrow we'll draw 3 triangles to make a trapezoid. When you're finished, put your finger on your nose and stick out your tongue like Yoshi. Don't put food in your mouth and show us the food in your mouth. That's gross and not polite. Alright, bunch of friends still working. If it's easier, because I'm seeing some moments of panic. If it's easier, draw your trapezoid out. Okay? Draw out your trapezoid. And then make 2 triangles and connect the ends. There you go. Use 3 triangles to make a trapezoid. Okay? Don't panic. Don't fluster. You got this. So we're using 2 triangles to make a trapezoid. Yeah, there you go, Bristol. All right, show me your work in 3, 2, 1. Show me your work. Good. Good, George. Good, Zoe. Good, Bristol. Bristol, it looks good. What you talking about, woman? It looks wonderful. Is it the best you could do? Did you try your best? Bristol, did you try your best? Yes or no? Did you try your best? Yes? Then guess what? It's perfect. It's perfect. If you try your hardest, that's perfect. Good, guys. Okay, awesome. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to use a triangle, a rhombus, and a trapezoid to make a hexagon. Okay? So, we know that 2 trapezoids make a hexagon, right? So it's super simple to draw a hexagon or a trapezoid on top. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say hexagon. Super simple to draw a trapezoid on top, right? Whoops, that's a wonky trapezoid. Oh well, it's okay. Okay? Then we're gonna put in our rhombus shape. Okay? So I'm gonna put in my rhombus shape. It looks like a Minecraft Pac-Man is what it looks like right now. You're all the ghosts that he wants to eat. Right. Then you're going to throw that triangle in there and connect that other dot. Is my hexagon perfect? No. Can I tell it's a hexagon? Yes. Okay. Good job. Who is that at the top? Good job, Alice. Okay. Good, Carson. Just make sure they connect. Make sure, like, this side connects down here. Okay? Don't leave any open spaces. Yeah, there you go, Aubrey. Your rhombus is skinny, but you have a triangle on there. Yeah, good. Okay. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to show me with pattern blocks. And I figured out a way to get you some. So they'll be in your next bundle to practice with. It'll be a little late, but it's all good. Yeah, good, Zoe. Good. Good, Bristol. Good, George. Yeah, good job, Easy. Okay, awesome. Right. So that is one way to make a hexagon using a trapezoid, a rhombus, and a triangle. Okay? My picture does not look as perfect as this does right here. But it's because I drew it, and I'm not perfect. But I can tell that this is a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, next one. You're going to like this one. I would like you to use I would like you to use 4 squares to make a big square. Use 4 squares to make a big square. Use 4 squares to make a big square.
What do we do? Done?
When you're done, try to touch your tongue to your nose. Oh, I love my job. I can't do it. Don't use your fingers, cheater. Cheater, pumpkin eater. Just try to use the power of your tongue.
Miss Pupil,
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do again?
You're using 4 squares to make a large square.
Okay.
Using 4 squares to make a large square. Lots of wiggly tongues. All your faces are going to be slimy. Alright, show me your work. In 3, 2, 1. Show me your work.
I'm not done. I'm not done.
That's okay. Take your time. Yeah! Good job, Zoe, Emmy, Darren, Gage, Journey, George, Bristol. Nice. Easy. Gage, good. Yep. You can put them down once I said your name. Right. So, you are to take these 4 squares and put them into a larger square. I saw some people, there were 2 different ways to do this. Some people drew a big square and then divided it in half and divided it into quarters, so you have those 4 squares. I also noticed some people actually drew squares 4 times. Same way. Okay? Both ways work. Okay? You used 4 squares to make a larger square. Now, I would like you to use 4 squares to make a rectangle. Make sure all your squares are lined up right next to each other. You don't want to leave any spaces. Okay? You want to make sure that all your squares are lined up right next to each other. You don't want to leave any spaces. Okay? So, the next thing I want you to use is to use those same 4 squares, but I would like you to make a rectangle. So, you're going to use 4 squares to make a rectangle. When you're finished, try to touch your tongue to underneath your chin. So don't show me just yet. When you're finished, So you're using 4 squares.
What do you do when you're done?
Try to touch your tongue to the bottom of your chin.
Enséñame tu trabajo.
Enséñame tu trabajo. Okay. Enséñame tu trabajo. Okay. Okay. Let me see. All right. Enséñame tu trabajo en 3, 2, 1. Enséñame tu trabajo. It means show me your work in Spanish. In Español. Okay? Some of you made squares again. Because if I put my 4 squares into this shape, it is 2 squares long this way and 2 squares long this way. So this is a square. In order to make a rectangle, you needed to make the squares either go straight up and down. I know mine aren't perfect. So they either had to go like this in a row, or they had to go like this in a row.
Miss Cooper,
To make a rectangle.
I was showing you the wrong piece of paper on my notebook.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I'll turn around and look in a second. Oops. Yep, good job. Alrighty, so they had to go either straight up and down, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares long and only 1 square long at the top. That's how you make a rectangle, because remember, a rectangle, the one side is, 2 sides are longer and 2 sides are shorter. Okay, you have to make sure that it looks like this. You cannot have, you cannot have when you're composing a shape, you cannot have something that looks like this, where you're putting little shapes inside of it, because technically you're not composing a new shape. So it has to look like a new shape. You can't have, so some of you I saw with even with your trapezoid, when you were putting triangles in it, you were just drawing triangles inside of it. They have to connect, okay? So they have to be closer together and make a connection inside a new shape. It'll be a lot easier when you're using pattern blocks to make that new shape. Okay, now what I'd like you to use is any combination of shapes up here on this board, and I want you to make a new shape. Any shapes that are up here, and make a new shape. You're using your own little creative brains, and smart brains I know that you have. You're using any shapes that are up here on this board: triangle, trapezoid, hexagon, squares. You can use rhombus, parallelogram. Anything that's up here, you can use what's up on here to make a new shape. Okay? Now on your seesaw activity, I give you a whole bunch of shapes. I give you different kinds of triangles. I give you circles. I give you rectangles. So you can use all different kinds of shapes. But for right now, I just want you to use the shapes that are up here on this board to make a new shape.
Has never been seen before?
No, you can make a shape that's been seen before. Just make a shape. Up to you. I just want you to make a new shape, and then I'm gonna call on a couple people to tell me what their new shape is. So you don't have to just use 2 triangles. You could use 6 triangles. You could use 3. Okay? Whatever shape it is, you just have to tell me how many sides it has and what's the new shape. Okay? You could use 2 squares and make a rectangle. But you'd have to tell me, Mrs. Cooper, I used 2 squares to make a rectangle. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a shape. When you're finished, put one hand on your head and the other hand under your chin. Tonk. 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 Question, Bristol.
So mine say.
Okay. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm waiting for the rest of the friends to finish, and then I'll call on you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So once you.
What you said when you said like what you said when we do when we're done.
Donk. Hand on your head, one under your chin. Donk. 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 Don't. All right. Show me your work. In 3, 2, 1. Show me your work. Okay.
In Spanish.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna try and draw all of the people shapes. I'm gonna call them 5 friends. Okay. So I'm just going to go over real quick. I am going to call on some friends to explain. But I'm going to go over real quick what I would say, what I want you to say, okay? So I used 3 rhombuses to make a hexagon. 1, 2, 3. I used 3 rhombuses to make a hexagon, okay? I used 3 rhombuses to make a hexagon. All right. Bristol. Show me what you got, girl.
I see because I don't tingle.
Okay, so yours is what did you use? A pentagon or a hexagon?
Hexagon and 3 squares.
A hexagon. And then she has square, square, whoops, square, and square. And what was the new shape that you called it?
A 13 because it has 13 sides.
So it should only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sides. I think is what I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Should have 12 sides. Which is called a dodecagon.
No.
Can I see your?
No.
Can I see your paper? Can I see yours? Yeah, mine looks like yours. You counted, yeah, you don't count this one because it's inside the shape. So like when you make a new shape, you don't count these lines, remember? So you don't count the lines on the inside. So you just count the lines on the outside. So a 12-sided shape is called a dodecagon, for anyone wondering. Okay, who else had their hand up? Zofro, go for it, girl.
I used a small triangle and a trapezoid to make a big triangle.
Awesome. So she used a triangle and a trapezoid to make a larger triangle. Awesome. Great job. Okay. Let me see. Gage, go ahead.
I made a octagon by using 4 triangles and a square.
Okay, so the square was in the middle, right? And then each edge had a triangle. Okay, and now he said he used 4 triangles and a square, and we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're right, good job. You made an octagon using, it doesn't look like a typical octagon, like a stop sign, right? But it is an octagon because it is 8 sides. Good. All right, someone else. Alice, let me see yours. Let me see your picture. Okay, I see a lot of friends using circles, but there isn't a circle up here. Okay, so I like that friends use circles. So some people used a circle, and I'm just going to do an example. Some people used a circle, but I asked you to use only the shapes up here. Okay, so some people used like quarter circles to make a big circle. But what I wanted you to use was these shapes up here to make a new shape.
Did you show her the right thing?
I made a 6 square too.
Okay.
I used 6 little squares.
Okay. So, let me see. Journey, can I see yours? Okay. All right, Journey, tell me yours.
I made 2 trapezoids to make a hexagon.
Right, she used 2 trapezoids to make a hexagon. Right, good job. That's another way to use what's up here. Good. Alrighty.
I used triangles. But she said you tell what the materials are in the...
Okay, so you use triangles, but the edges, see, what I'm looking at, the edges looked curved. So if you use triangles, okay, you used 8, did you use 8 triangles?
Yes.
Okay, so if you used 8 triangles, okay, so that means you did... You made a shape that looks like this, but the edges should be straight. Do you see what I'm saying? I know mine isn't perfect. And yours might be like that, and I just might not be able to tell through the screen. But if you used 8 triangles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what's the new shape you made, George?
I made a circle.
No, if you used 8 triangles, because triangles have a straight edge, you would have made a an octagon. So if you used a triangle, because a triangle has straight edges, or straight sides, not a curved side, it would have been an octagon. Right. Okay. Awesome. Okay. One last person. Let me see. Darren, go for it, dude.
I use a triangle and a square. A pentagon.
Right. He used a triangle and a square to make a pentagon. Good job. So, that is basically your seesaw activity. You're composing shapes to make a new shape. Okay? Now, you have to make 3 new shapes. With one of your shapes, you have to tap the microphone button and you have to tell me what shapes you used to make that shape. Okay? Okay? Yeah? Sound good? Today's activity should be much easier than yesterday's. Okay? Because I literally have all the shapes on there for you to compose to make a new shape.
Yeah, but Miss,